They are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. The Emperor of mankind. The Space Marines, or Adeptus Astartes, are foremost amongst the defenders of humanity, the greatest of the Emperor of mankind's warriors. They are barely human at all, but superhuman, having been made superior in all respects to a normal man by a harsh regime of genetic modification, psycho-conditioning, and rigorous training. Space Marines are untouched by plague or any natural disease and can suffer wounds that would kill a lesser being several times over, and live to fight again, clad in ancient power, armor, and wielding the most potent weapons known to man. The Space Marines are terrifying foes, and their devotion to the Emperor and the Imperium of man is unyielding. They are the God Emperor's angels of death, and they know no fear. Space Marines become transhuman Astartes, forever separated from their mortal kin. They are no longer mortal. Their genetic heritage is the Emperor's, and a spark of his divine majesty flows in them. Space Marines are often part of a chapter. A chapter is a completely autonomous military unit made up of 1,000 transhuman warriors known as Space Marines and their related vehicles, starships, and support personnel. The Space Marines were once divided into legions, but after the Horus Heresy, they were split into smaller chapters to prevent future rebellions. Now there are many chapters, with half of them descended from the Ultramarines. The history of the Astartes reaches back to the earliest days of the Imperium of Man. It was the period known as the Age of Strife. Terra had regressed to an uncivilized battleground of bickering minor warlords. Then the Emperor of Man appeared, employed genetically engineered elite infantry in key roles, and quickly secured the entire homeworld under his command. The Emperor dreamt of reclaiming his empire. His secret Primarch project aimed to create 20 super generals, near godlike beings with his own DNA, to lead his forces. But disaster struck his hidden base on Luna, the moon of Earth, leaving his ambitious plan in jeopardy. The infant Primarchs disappeared. Intervention of the Chaos Gods and probably a warp anomaly removing the children was suspected, but the truth is not known. The Emperor believed his Primarch survived and changed his plan. He created 20 new, advanced super soldier units, the Space Marine Legions, based on the Primarchs' DNA. Each legion had 10,000, 15,000 Marines. With this new elite force and the early Imperial army, the Emperor set out to reclaim his lost Primarchs, of course, retaking the human empire in the process. This 200-year expansion war became known as the Great Crusade. The first Primarch to be found was Horus, who took command of his legion, the 16th, and named it the Luna Wolves. Horus grew close to his father, becoming the Emperor's right hand and later the war master of the entire Imperial military. More Primarchs were found, fully grown and more often than not ruling the worlds they had been cast on in their infancy. All assumed their positions, some with fervor and some with reluctance. Along with Primarchs, the legions received names: Dark Angels, Emperor's Children, Iron Warriors, White Scars, Space Wolves, Imperial Fists, Night Lords, Blood Angels, Iron Hands, World Eaters, Ultramarines, Death Guard, Thousand Sons, Word Bearers, Salamanders, Raven Guard, Alpha Legion. With the legions now led by their Primarchs, the Imperium was unstoppable. They retook their previous territory and expanded beyond, claiming up to 1,000,000 worlds. The Emperor became satisfied and left the command to War Master Horus. Some of the Primarchs felt that the Emperor had abandoned them,